In the personal story segment tonight, blazing the trail for Donald Trump. Pat Buchanan ran 3 presidential campaigns in 1992, 1996, and 2000 that were fiercely anti-establishment and controversial. They may have ultimately been unsuccessful, but now some are crediting Buchanan's insurgent campaigns as paving the way for Donald Trump's success in 2016. Joining us now with more from Washington is the man himself, Pat Buchanan. Pat, great to have you on. So you were like the first Washington, D.C. outsider. You ran well, and you called it the establishment. I think you, at one point you called them, they're in a terminal panic when they came across someone like you.
Well, I've called it the Republican-Democratic Party two wings of the same bird of prey. But the issues we raised, Eric, are very current today. We said secure the border or we're going to have millions and millions of illegal aliens here. We said stop these trade deals or you're going to have all these manufacturing plants going abroad, Mexico, Asia, and China. And we said stay out of these foolish wars. We started a magazine to oppose George Bush's war in Iraq.
Mm-hmm. And you did very well. Again, you weren't successful in securing the nomination, but you also turned around when you decided to pull out, suspend your campaign, and you eventually backed Bob Dole, who you're running against with Jack Kemp.
Right.
Should one of these guys turn around and say if Trump is the nominee, back him? It doesn't feel like one of either Cruz nor Rubio would be doing that.
Well, my view is if Donald Trump gets the nomination, the rest of the Republican Party ought to try to work with him, and he should work with them, because what's on the line, Eric, is not only the Congress of the United States and the presidency of the United States, but a conservative Supreme Court we all want. But as for advice to Mr. Rubio or Mr. Cruz or Mr. Trump, I think I'll leave that to them.
All right, there are a bunch of outsiders that we've talked about. Now, you worked for Ronald Reagan. I wouldn't call him an outsider necessarily. He wasn't your typical politician. He was a quasi-outsider. Trump. Is Trump more a Ronald Reagan, a Barry Goldwater, a Ross Perot, or a Pat Buchanan?
I think he's sui generis. He's different than them. I came into politics. I was an editorial writer, but I was really an admirer and supporter of Barry Goldwater's. I supported Ronald Reagan against Gerald Ford in 1976, and I ran my own in 1992 and 96. And I did endorse Dole in 96, but I'll tell you, I left the Republican Party in year 2000 because I just saw the Republican Party on its border policy, on its trade policy, on its war policy. Bush Republicanism was not Buchanan Republicanism, and I think Bush Republicanism and the consequences of it, Eric, in lost factories, lost jobs, wars that we can't end and can't win, Bush Republicanism is what created Donald Trump.
Yeah, the far right saying, hey, we need an alternative to the insiders of the Bush Republicanism, as you point out. Mitt Romney levied some fairly heavy accusations yesterday against Donald Trump, suggesting that there may be something in his tax reports that would be embarrassing to him or something he's trying to hide. You were supportive of Mitt Romney in 2012, and you are a supporter of Donald Trump now. What's going on here with this Romney-Trump thing?
You know, I did support Mitt Romney, and I like Mitt Romney, and I admire him, and I think he would have been a good president. But I think it's grossly unfair to throw something like that out there. Has he seen Donald Trump's tax returns? Somebody leaking stuff to him? He's going after Donald Trump because Trump is winning the nomination and running, you know, quite a campaign. And so I think to suggest this without hard knowledge, or if he got it, I don't know where he got it, is really an unfair thing to do, and I understand Trump's anger at doing it, but what it tells you, Eric, is the establishment is in full panic. It is in denial about whether Trump can win, but it is panicked, and they really are showing that, and as they make charges like this, they validate Donald Trump to middle America and the outsiders as saying, look, they're all trying to bring him down and destroy him with every tactic they can. He's the authentic thing. So they're authenticating Donald Trump.
Pat Buchanan, thank you very much.